Hello, this video is meant to highlight all of the information I would have discussed at back to school night and give you an overall overview of the class and expectations. Okay, first of all, it's very important we have discipline in the class, so I make sure that that takes place. This is what students need to follow in order for us to get along, in order for us to have a smooth year. These are the expectations that I have. Pay close attention to the last one, please. No whining, complaining, or excuses. We are all about results and getting things done. Um, we don't want any excuses. We just want to improve and get things done, no matter what the situation. So that's our focus. Okay, cell phones can be an issue, but they should not be. Cell phones are not allowed in the classroom at all. Students' phones should be in their yonder pouch and put away at all times. And if students, they get slick sometimes. So when they do, if they have a phone, it's taken for parent pickup, and we just take it from there. So this should not be an issue as long as the rules are followed. Okay, we know that over the year that things will happen. Typically, I'm able to discuss it with the student and straighten things out. If not, we can talk about it outside. If things do not improve from that point, I will make sure I contact you. So maybe you can speak to them and give them those loving words in order to get them back on track. But other than that, I am going to make sure that I maintain order in the class. So whatever needs to be done from that point will be done, within laws. I don't do nothing crazy. But I do make sure that the class is a place where learning can take place. Bathroom policy. As by rule, students don't go to the bathroom the first 10 minutes of class or the last 10 minutes. From there, usually going to the bathroom is not a problem. Students use it the way they're supposed to, but some students do abuse it. If we find that they're taking advantage of it, then I will stop sending them. But with that said, students are always told if it's an emergency, you always need to just go. It does not matter what I say or anyone else. If you need to go to the restroom and it's an emergency, you need to go. And then whatever consequences or whatever come from that, then so be it. But students always have that last say so if it's an emergency. But y'all know, parents, these kids really taking advantage of it sometimes. Like so far, we've been in class, what are we pushing, 3 weeks? I've sent 60 kids to the restroom. Now, over all of my classes, but still, that's 60 students. So some of them just go because somebody else went. So, we have to shut that down. So, but like I said, typically it isn't a problem. Okay, homework policy. Students will never receive something that we have not began working on in class. We generally work on assignments and we have timelines. So when something is due, it is due. So the student needs to do whatever they need to do to make sure that they meet the timeline. Now, frequently that means that sometimes they have work at home, but in the course of a 90-minute period, you really can get a lot done in class if you're productive. If you're less productive in class, you will have more homework. But there's always something that a student should be working on. And the emphasis is making sure that they meet the timelines. Okay, an adjustment that the students have to make is in this English class, I do not accept late work. When something is due, which I will lay out explicitly, I will tell them, it will be in writing, it will be highlighted, it's on the weekly agenda. Students know when things are due and they need to turn it in by that timeline. If they do not, then they're going to get a 0. That's pretty straightforward, but I think that is important that we prepare the students for understanding that they do need to meet timelines and be responsible for the work that they're supposed to turn in. With that said, over the course of the semester, there will be several opportunities for replacement assignments. A replacement assignment is when they do a different assignment that will take the place of that 0. They cannot get full credit, but it is enough to make it so the 0 does not hurt them too badly. But there is a maximum of 5 replacement assignments that they can get. So generally, and what I tell the students, just do the work, turn it in on time, and we don't have to deal with this. But it is important that you understand that this is something that I stick by. There's no late work accepted. Mind you, I do understand that sometimes there are situations. So let me not make it sound like that. Sometimes um, it is warranted for a student to turn in late work, and that's when it's important that they communicate that, and we can come to that understanding. So keep that in mind too. Here's the grading scale. The grading scale for the class. Summative is like the midterm and the finals and larger projects. Formative, we have a time writing on our Wednesdays. That generally goes into formative. It's the assignments that we do to prepare for the larger assignments. Those are formative assignments. Then we have class work that we do in class that can fit in different areas. And then the things for participation, which matters a lot because generally it helps me understand what the students know, as well as it's an opportunity for them to demonstrate in another way what they know. So participation is also part of their grade. So here's the grading scale. And then lastly, and what I consider the most important slide, is communication. Not just communication with the student, with me, and me with the student, but also with me as the teacher and you as the adult in their life. You're going to receive a progress a progress report from the school about every 5 weeks. You'll hear from the school in some capacity. Um, and the main way that I communicate is through Parent Square. Parent Square is immediate, so it allows me to generally respond pretty quickly. I also respond to emails, but not as quickly as Parent Square. And you can feel free to contact me with any concern or question that you have. I'm very open to you being concerned about your child and what they're doing and how they're doing. So please reach out whenever you need to, and I will get back to you pretty quickly to help clear things up. So please don't hesitate to contact me when needed. Okay? So this is what helps us to have a good school year where your child is productive in their learning and they're improving. Those are my ultimate goals. Wherever they're at, or whatever skills they have, we want them to improve on those skills and become a more productive, hardworking, accountable student. So that's what we're going to try to hold them to, and that's what we're going to really insist upon. All right. So please feel free to contact me whenever needed. And if you have any questions about anything, and that's it. All right. I'll talk to you later.